as they say in Nintendo. Let's go. Round of beers. Strike the earth. You have arrived after a journey from the Goblin Pits into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended, but your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Stucknagir. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook. Provide for your goblins. You are expecting a supply caravan just before the winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the snow vultures get hungry. A new chapter of goblin history begins here at this place. Abes Nebgo. Bellfrost. Strike the earth. Welp. That's it. What do we have for trees? Hey, we got silver Christmas trees. Also bayberries. Let's take a full look, because this is a rather large embark site. Ooh, it's like a big slant. More of a cliff than I thought. Strike the earth. Yep. Mm-hmm. Let's take a peek around these lower levels. Kind of stone we looking at? Kind of things we looking at? What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Claystone? Okay. Ooh, white sand. More claystone. Lots of sand, lots of claystone and lots of sand. The claystone, lots of sand. That's fine. And then what's that? Just normal clay? Fire clay. Okay, so we got fire clay, we got lots of sand. Let's jump up to the top, I think. All right, we got some surface gems up here. Bloodstone clusters. More claystone, more sand. Also something I need to check. Thank goodness. That's always a fear that I have whenever I'm settling, is that I'm going to be at war with my own faction. We got coyotes and kestrels on the map. Coyotes are in a little pack around halfway down the hill. And then a single kestrel that just took off. Obviously, you know, bird of prey, and coyotes are coyotes. We are all G's. There is 11 of us currently, because we have... I'm just going to make all of these available as pets. Just because I think that'd be fun. Problem is I'm going to need to graze them, yeah? Or I'm assuming that raven deers need to graze. But let's have a peek at the raven deers, because I haven't actually seen those yet. We also have, of course, some trolls running around. But large carnivorous offshoot of reindeer. It hunts in packs, and it tears prey to shreds. They don't need to graze? Okay. And I would assume that the polar bear doesn't either, right? Wait, basically, are any of these grazers except for the yak? I know that the yak is, obviously. And then, of course, you know, we have some trolls. Which are, you know, just friendly, hang out, and chill dudes. I'm just kind of hoping if I unpause the game for a minute, they'll get adopted as pets. Ah, there we go. That was quick. Looks like Critty grabbed the polar bear. And Vin has adopted the two raven deers, or two of the raven deers, and a troll adopted the third raven deer. Well, that's kind of cute. That is indeed kind of cute. What? Wow, that the troll got it? What a troll. All right, classic trolls. So let's figure out what layer we're going to build on. This could do. Like, we could just build here. Like, I don't even need to go down to super far or up. That or we could go down to here and then just have, like, this whole layer. I have a feeling I'm just going to spend a lot of time digging. What do we have going on here? Seems to be mostly claystone on this layer. It's like claystone and sand. A lot of sand. We are 16th of granite, early spring already. All right, I like this layer down here. I think what I'm going to do down here is we're going to do some digging. Or rather, some designating. Trying to think. What shape do I want to make this? Because I want something interesting. I could always just do my normal boring circles. But I feel like we can do better than that because, you know, it's like it's Christmas. So I'm thinking maybe like a star-shaped starting room or something. Just somewhere that I can put all of my shit. I think a star could be cool. I'd have to like look at a star pixel art, but stars aren't too hard to do. Star with a staircase in the center? It would be quite efficient. This is true. I could. This is indeed true. Question is, can I, you know, make it work? That's of course the question. That could be like our, although I've already like fucked it up. One side bigger, one tick bigger. Unless I'm off by one. I think I might be off by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No, I think I'm off by one. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then I could just make this go down to about here. Point about here. Back up by one more. And go across here. I should make that a little bit larger. He says that as he doesn't make it a little bit larger. I kind of don't like the way this is looking. I also kind of don't really want to do Christmas baubles because that's a little bit too on the nose. Oh, you know what? I got an idea. I got an idea. Let's see if I can make this work. Start point. So that's our start point. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. End point. I'm thinking about doing like a half moon that fills in. Can do this, but I have to make it a little longer. Or rather, I need to line it up a little better. I think that's what we'll do. We'll do like a half moon shape and then fill it in slowly. Let's see if I can even do this. Anyway, chat, what do you guys want to ramble about? We need some sort of interactivity. It's a little quiet. I realize I'm just kind of doing an art stream right now, but my streams kind of live and die by conversations. And I'm really distracted right now, admittedly, which is part of due to the lack of interactivity, due to the YouTube stuff that's going on in the background. But I like to talk about things instead of me just kind of getting lost in my own ramblings. Make a convincing curve. Game art styles I want to see more often. Art styles that developers are passionate about that aren't fucking gray all the time. Sorry, too generic. I don't even know what that means, Anix. Guess it depends on the context of the rant. That's pretty satisfying. I like that. Works. That I can work with. Do I like the designs of Pokemon? I've never even played a Pokemon game, so I couldn't tell you. Seen like 30... Not 30. I've seen like maybe a dozen episodes of the anime. Not a Pokemon person. Kinda wished it didn't exist. Because I just hear people complaining about it constantly. Seems like even people who like Pokemon don't actually like Pokemon. This looks awful. I like the initial curve though, so I will keep the curve. But we'll try and make it bigger. Pokemon is just junk food gaming, which some people enjoy. I don't. I also am not a huge fan of JRPGs. That's probably why I don't really enjoy them. This just keeps looking worse. It's like I like this curve, but I don't like anything else about what I've done in here. But I got an idea. Hey, Cyrolac. Hope you're doing well. It's like you're kind of like allowed to rant about almost anything in this chat, just assuming you're not being a weirdo about it. But if I know nothing about it, I'm not going to have much input. Ooh, what kind of concert? Harsh corner. Sixth grade band? Oh, neat. I hope it goes well. It's like a holiday themed concert style thing. I did my fair share of those when I was younger. We're gonna have like 2 digging parties, I think, for this. We're gonna kind of have the main digging party, which is gonna be digging out this hallway. And then there's going to be the other digging party, which is just going to dig down to the cavern lair. Or rather, find us the cavern layers. We're gonna need to find those. And that'll be the entrance to the fort. Or to the living space, which I'm then going to put in the middle here, I think. Do I like Wu-Tang? Is this how you start conversations? Do you like random thing? I mean, I've heard a couple of Wu-Tang songs. Do I like them? No, not particularly. Was more of a Public Enemy and Cypress Hill kid when that style of music was something I listened to, but I wouldn't ever really say I was that much into it anyway. A little bit of Run DMC. Voluntary human extinction movement going around at your campus. That seems a little self-destructive, like murder culty. I would recommend avoiding that type of people. As somebody who expects humanity to be extinct in like 150 years, voluntary seems a little bit extreme. It's one of my favorite retorts to things like that is probably a cult. Seems like a cult. Definitely probably a cult. Definitely probably a cult in that instance. I would recommend avoiding voluntary human extinction types. Bunch of edgy weirdos. As an edgy weirdo, please don't give us such a bad name. Christ. Like, seriously. I'm pretty sure there's more than one Star Trek episode about that, actually. Generally not a full extinction, no. But this is certainly absolute Darwin Awards. I mean, our species has gone extinct or been destroyed a couple of times. It's just part of being an intelligent species. Every couple thousand years, we kill ourselves off almost entirely and have a reset. Example A. Holy Roman Empire. All I can think about when I hear Cypress Hill is The Simpsons Hullapalooza, where they steal the London Symphony Orchestra from Peter Frampton's performance to play the insane. Yep. Insane in the membrane. I mean, all I can think about when I think about Cypress Hill is being an edgy teenager, so. Although I largely listened to similar music than I did back then, with some exceptions, and that's one of the exceptions. I don't really listen to that stuff anymore. Was the Holy Roman Empire really that influential? You realize that they had functioning, like, plumbing systems, right? Like, they had, like, and, like, the Egyptians had, like, simple concepts of electricity and were able to build batteries that could hold a charge. Like, yeah, our ancient, I guess, predecessors were definitely that influential. Like, Rome had functioning plumbing systems. Zero knowledge and sense of, like, hygiene and disease when it came to that, but, like, in comparison to the Gauls, like, they definitely, like, were a pretty fucking modern society. Like, if you actually look into the way they operated, it's really not that different from the way we operate now. Like, they're literally just us currently, but minus the internet, essentially. So better off, maybe, in some ways. That's like the one major difference we have right now between now and then is the internet. So I think this is going to be it for this little box that I'm building. Turned out better than I thought it would. It's lopsided, I think. Yes, it is, but that's kind of intentional. How's that look, chat? The right half of it is lopsided, but like I said, that is intentional. I think that'll do. Took a little bit of fiddling. All right, now how are we going to get into it? Are we going to dig down to it, or do I build another hallway? Okay, build another. Because I kind of want I like it when the first layer is pretty flat. We could have like a little thing at the end here. Zoop. That's the entryway. And it's only 2. Actually, let's make that 3. And then we can put a gate at the end of this. That's the entrance. All right, now we need to find some miners. Although, actually, we just need to assign jobs in general. So, actually, who's our expedition leader? Or do we not get one? I guess not. All right, you, I guess. Oh. It was. Okay, someone explain this. One of the trolls is our expedition leader. Should we leave him as the expedition leader, or should I replace him? Because I think he's doing a very good job. I don't know about you guys. He's doing his best. Our troll, expedition leader, tame. Is he listed? Nope. Oh, yep, nope. Not listed. Doesn't even have a name. Give him a chance. Not like the expedition leader is a particularly busy job. I mean, come on. Come on. That's funny. All right. Labors. Give me mining. For Critty? Because I only have 2 miners. Or only have 2 picks. Cridian's Song, you two can be our miners. You can be a woodcutter to Tib. And we're going to find some trees that we can hack down. Oh, and another thing I need to check. I need to check the world map. I also need to check gods. If I go to world map and hit N. Not a lot going on, but then again, I guess we wouldn't know. Oh, hold up. Where'd that come from? It's behind my camera. You guys can't see it. There's a dwarven fort right next to us that wasn't there when I settled this spot. We have no contact with these. Also, I'm kind of curious, just because of how big this cluster is. What's the population of our? Oh, yeah, okay. So Tool Land of the living plank of the Enchanter of Control is pretty big. Troll for Baron, Troll for Emperor, Troll for Mayor. Yeah, no, I agree, Cuglorf. Troll for Mayor. that's almost as good as Gremlin for Mayor. You know these golems? Bunch of fucking trolls, man. Tool Land by the Living Plank sounds like a DIY store. It kind of does. Kind of really does. Do you want to go to Tool Land? It's either like a DIY store or it's like a Tool fan club, and there's like no in the middle. One of the two. All right, so Joe, dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. You can be our mason. God, that is funny. That is funny. This mod is silly already. Also, if anybody would like to help this stream out, here's a link to the Reddit thread. Currently, Reddit is being Reddit. Also, it's starting to look like that YouTube monetization thing is a bug because other people I'm talking to have been reporting the same thing and also saying that they're going back to being monetized after a couple of hours, so... Jimmy, what up? So I'm not too worried, or just kind of question marking all over the place. Yeah, seems like some of them have gone back to being monetized again. So I don't know what the fuck's happening on YouTube. Yeah, now different videos are now ineligible, and others are eligible again. So I don't fucking know. Maybe YouTube is legit running out of ads. Possible. All right, so we've got like a chunk of sand right there, which I could just start growing some food in, but I kind of don't want to do that on this layer. This is just like my entry layer, so I kind of just want them to dig it out. It's going to take a while because we got a ways to go. Are those goblins mining? Yes, these are goblins mining. Our expedition leader is a troll. Are you enjoying Songs of Six, Jimmy? Our expedition leader is a troll, and that's kind of all you really need to know. Let's just get this factored up this way. This is actually like a really good way to get stuff, these big projects done efficiently, because we need an area that we can go to. We're gonna need to bring items into it, so it's gonna look a little funny for a bit, but they'll get it done eventually. But once they get all the way down to this end bit, then we can start, you know, doing what we actually need to do. Yeah, I don't know. I've legit never seen this before on YouTube, but it's comforting to know that it's happening to other people and I'm not just like broken, which basically means just like sit here and twiddle my thumbs and wait for it to finish. So I'm being accused of two things on Reddit right now. I'm being accused of being an elf spy, and being accused of being an elf sympathizer. But also, someone is agreeing with me that elves are indeed good folk because they bring big, tasty animals, which is kind of my take on elves. It's like, I'll fight with them, that's fine. But generally, they're fine. They just bring big, tasty animals. Satisfied in remembering improving mining. You know, I kind of just want to get that star set up and ready to go ASAP, ideally. Ooh, we've got plants around. What do we got? We've got apple tree saplings. Ooh, pear tree saplings. What else do we have? Oh, lots of saplings. Turnips, cool. Turnip wine on the menu. Hide root. Well, I found you, root. Looking for the seek root next. Spinach. Longland. What else do we have? More Spanish. Spanish! Shoutouts, hide root. All right. Any other animals on the map? Just a pack of coyotes. Howling away. Pretty efficiently wintry. Won't the troll just break doors when trying to enter it? I don't know. Do they? I don't actually know. I mean, I could also just like chain them up outside. They don't need to eat or anything, I don't think. You don't think they would, but who knows unless it's marked as an invader. Yeah, I think they only break doors down if it's like if it's an enemy troll, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe if they tantrum. I'll be honest, like I've played various mods, but I've never played as just straight up goblins before, so this is all new to me. All of this is new, which is kind of fun. Well, not all of this. Most of this is still just Dwarf Fortress. Like that's not gonna joke around here. It's mostly Ice Bench. That's the new one. Interesting. No hotkey for Ice Bench? I'm offended. It's a weird shaped thing. They use gem cutting, right? This is going to take a while. All right, well, we need a little farming area. We could also just, like, you know, jump up to the surface and, like, probably just do this. What other jobs do you have, Sucks? We'll give you farming, because we're going to need a farm. We're also going to give you brewing and plant gathering. Just go get us some plants. So they power their way through here, otherwise this is going to take 75,000 years. This is a bit ambitious for a start, but hey, I mean, I think it's worth it to have a cool looking entrance, you know? Worth it to have a cool looking entrance. Kind of looks like a shooting star. It actually like ended up looking more like a shooting star than I expected it to. I should do a layer that's just a bunch of Christmas baubles, shouldn't I? I need to sneeze. Well, that was that. The question is, how much do they eat? And how much do they drink? Probably not too much. I'm wondering if I should just start farming. Probably should. Ravens? The same rate as dwarves? Yeah. I mean, it's not too much. And there is good amounts of sand, which I'm actually quite excited about. I'm excited about the fact that there's good amounts of sand. And the reason I'm quite excited about that is it means, like, you know, like, if we get some lava up in here, we can get, like, some fucking... You know what I'm saying? We could get some glass. Good amounts of glass. I think the population cap in this install is currently set to 160. I might drop it down to 100, though. I do want to do some construction. I think today we're just going to do this, but, like, the rest of this week is going to be this and, holiday-themed War Sim, because I want to... I don't know how many of you know War Sim. If you don't know War Sim, let me know and I can explain what it is, basically. But I want to do a playthrough of War Sim where I just name the world the North Pole and name the leader Santa. Of course, we must go deeper to Gaff, and we will go deeper, but first we have to go dig out a star. Just because I genuinely believe that that would be kind of hilarious. Especially with all of, like, the dumb, weird interactions you can have in War Sim, it would just be kind of incredible to just be like, yeah, we're Santa in the North Pole, killing everybody. Satisfied at work when improving mining. Didn't feel anything due to inebriation. I feel that way right now, Squug. Although I didn't just wake up. I woke up 6 hours ago? Although investments are open. If you want to invest your tickets. How you been feeling, Squug? See, have all of the pets been adopted? Yep. Everything. I still think it's hilarious that a troll adopted one of them. And looks like Spooky adopted the other brown penguin. It's so fluffy. What, the brown penguin? I mean, let's read their description. This guy. Hast. He is average in size, his feathers are dark brown, his belly is white, and his skin is dark tan. His eyes are black. That's your pet penguin. I think that's yours. Yes. Hast is yours. Little Pengu boy. Well, let's build a carpenter shop real quick and make us some beds. So Spooky. Already giving you wood cutting. You can be our carpenter too. You double duty. Another thing I might want to check out is their clothing. Shoe, sock, glove. Left glove. Seems pretty normal. Yeah, it does seem pretty normal. What am I looking for, materials or? I mean, what is the new stuff? Ah, wreath. Chulo, don't even know what that is. Santa hat, mother. All right, well, everybody's getting Santa hats, I guess. Jumper. I wonder. It's possible that they couldn't be generated with them. That is a cute mod. Vin, thanks for gifting a sub. First notification of money in 4 hours. Since that resub at the beginning. Cheers, man. Thanks a ton. And enjoy the ad-free viewing next 30 days. Courtesy of our friend Vin. Hey, what code? All right, you. Minus that wooden armor stand. That's not the key I wanted to hit. Been using the manager for too long. All right, let's go down this way. Watch him dig. He'll construct us some beds. Might also get him just working on menacing wooden spikes. You're kind of obsessed with the Raven Deer? You know, like, you could almost just throw those into just a normal vanilla playthrough and just, like, ignore them. And just have them. Just existing, because they are kind of cool sounding. I could see, like, you know, as somebody who's seen those videos of, like, horses just, like, turning around and eating a chicken. Like, or, like, geese just, like, eating chicks. Or not geese, goats just eating chicks. I could absolutely see, like, a deer that eats meat. Don't go to YouTube and type in horse eating chicken. Just don't do that. Fun fact, horses are omnivores. So are goats. The internet taught me that years ago. Years ago. Horses do that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like, just go to YouTube and type in horse eat chick, and you'll literally just see, like, a baby chick just, like, running around a horse, just goes, comp. Freshest KFC ever. It's not even fried. It's more like just KC, Kentucky chicken. Saddest faced, it's true. Which is why, like, or even, now this is something you shouldn't Google if you're sensitive to scary shit. Not deer. If you are sensitive to scary shit, do not Google not deer. They're just deer, but they're not deer. Some of the best creepypasta stuff on the internet as far as I'm concerned. As somebody who's lived in the country for large portions of his life, not currently, but for large portions of my life, I've lived kind of in the middle of nowhere. Not deer are like something special. They're like Wendigos. I don't know exactly. I don't actually know like the myths of Wendigos or like the cryptids, but like with not the TLDR on not deer is literally just it's a deer that looks like a deer that is with other deer, but it's not a deer. So there's just something off about it. And in reality, deer can have various diseases that make them appear off. Including like certain cancerous growths that they can get and other infections that can make them move or twitch in weird ways, which is usually what they actually are. But the theory is that they are possessed by an evil spirit that's going to like stand up and kill you. So that's what the myth is. But I've seen not deer because we used to have deer all the time growing up around where I lived. And I've seen deer that look like deer and act like deer, but they're not quite a deer. Not necessarily zombie deer, but yeah, it's usually chronic wasting disease. Yeah, it is very sad. But they have multiple infections and diseases that they can contract as adults that make them look and act very off in a way that is extremely unnerving. And having seen them, and that's kind of what the raven deer remind me of, or raven deer, yes. That's the question. It's just not a deer. We don't know what they are. That's part of the fun of it, I guess. Cheers, not Gopher. What up, dude? How's things? So, like, the concept of a carnivore deer to me is like, yeah, that fits perfectly into a lot of mythology. That's cool. But we're building a holiday-themed fort using Joe's mod, which is this big... Well, not big, but I'm starting this big kind of holiday-themed design fort, but what we're playing as is goblins, frost goblins. There's some small changes to the game, but aside from that, it's pretty much still just Dwarf Fortress. Tomorrow's your birthday, so you took some days off work? Fuck yeah. Work just been, like, ridiculously busy or something? Do they drink alcohol? Yeah, but they can get by with just water. They don't get any benefits from drinking alcohol. Feels satisfied at work, doesn't feel anything due to inebriation because it's a gubbin. They want cups and mugs. Dormitory. Craftsman workshop meet. All right. Where is he going at? Where is he going at? Anyways, let's give you this. You go make us some cups. Let's get Formar. You can be our crafter for right now. Maybe wood crafting, stone crafting, bone crafting, and weaving. Good kind of busy? That's good. A lot of people were the bad kind of not busy for a really long time, so it's good to hear that people are good busy again. Let's make some rock mugs. And, you. Menacing wooden spike repeat, please. Keep digging. Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty good busy recently too. But also good busy because I've just been streaming a lot. Yep, you get to make us mugs, my dude. Game's kind of lagging. Sure, what's going on here? Worried it's gonna crash. Nope. Is that a season move over? It is now summer. Nope. Sure what that was. Although actually, it might just be because we have a big map, so we're just gonna have some hitches, which is fine. In my opinion, lag in DF is totally fine if you expect it, and I'm very much expecting to get random lag in this map. Maybe I should save? Probably not a bad idea. We haven't had an automatic one yet. Although I don't even know if seasonal saves are on in this install. Curious to see how long saves and loads are going to be too. But yeah, I'm expecting random hitches because we're about twice the size of the recommended embark. So we're actually on a really large embark. So we are going to get lag. And there isn't much I can do about that. But I know how to keep the fort from frame rate deathing itself. It's just a matter of hitches, which will happen because of how big the map is. Part of the reason why big hitches happen too is when like animals spawn. The game has a hard time sometimes figuring out how many animals should be on the map. And then if you select too large of an embark, you might get too many different types of animals. So then the game has to like decide between what type of animal goes where and who enters your map and who doesn't. So, you know, it's a stress test. It's a mod. If issues happen, they happen. I'm not too worried. It's not a huge overhaul mod or anything. Oh yeah, all that. All that. One of the laggiest forts I ever had was covering 6 different biomes. They 3 of them were almost identical, but 6 different biomes, different level of spooky on 3 of them, and a mountain biome, a freezing water biome. It could also be like snow melting too, and like this is like I said, it's a large embark. Like it's quite large. So we've got quite a lot going on here, as well as a lot of objects being tracked, because like suddenly like the number of objects being taken care of and the number of things spawning is like almost exponential the bigger your map gets. So, which is why it like recommends that you start with the default size or make it smaller instead of making it bigger. But sometimes for these seasonal forts, I make them bigger. And I had these same sort of hitches in my Halloween fort that I did, which was also a bigger embark. So not too worried. That seemed pretty normal, but we should save periodically. And because we're in summer now, I guess I don't have seasonal saves turned on in this install, so I should turn those on. But I'll just do manual saves for today. That's fine. I'll do manual saves today. That's fine. I think I'm going to make a food stockpile here, minus seeds. Not huge, just a food stockpile. And make this into an inn/tavern. That's not what I wanted. Well, that's what I wanted. The Pepper of Construction. Well, we're gonna move it anyway, so we'll rename it later. But that's what we need for right now. Locations, term residents only. There we go. So now everybody should move down here. And also, the nice thing about the trolls is these boys, they help moving stuff, which is helpful. Excellent. Also, I'm curious, what inspired you to make this mod? Was it just the time of year and you felt like modding, or was there a particular reasoning behind making a holiday themed mod? So I've got a couple ideas of how we could use this kind of shooting star beam as a defensive area. But the main reason I've got such a long underground area is in case we get attacked by flying things, I want them to kind of come down to our height. So you tried to fill in the niche? If I could make any loud criticisms about this mod, it would be rename Christmas to other things. So instead of calling it Christmas, making it a Christian holiday. If you change the names of it slightly to be less religion focused, and then also add in other holidays from around the same time, I think that would actually be kind of incredible. That would be my big default request if I could make one. I'm also like trying to wrap, I don't know the name of it because I don't know anything about Hanukkah because I'm not Jewish, but I think it would be neat if I tried to make a floor that looked kind of like the candles from Hanukkah and maybe make them into like royal sleep chambers or something. You don't know another name from them? Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like, you know, Xmas is a perfectly good example of why it's really difficult to, you know, make non-denominational religious holidays still sound cool. Is there a particular reason you ran in circles twice there? I think I need to cut this area out. Let's make this a higher priority. A little silly. But I don't know, maybe Chad has some recommendations too. Yeah, even like either winter trees, or you could use like the term hinter with an H. Hinter. Or tundra even. Or you know. Although, fortunately, like, the term Santa, even though that's, like, technically a Coca-Cola marketing thing, is still, like, a generic enough term that you can kind of get away with using Santa. But looking into, like, Nordic mythos is also a good way to get around a lot of this stuff. And, like, a lot of pagan mythos. Because that's, like, where Christianity stole all their bullshit from. It's like, hey, let's look at everything that's pagan-ish that's like generic enough that we can just steal this and no one will complain. All right, let's jump back up here. Gather plants. Well, that's how we're feeding ourselves right now. We're just gathering plants. And I need one of these ice benches, which I'm just gonna throw up here. So, do they put water in barrels? What do they do with water? Because I know that, like, you said that they use gem cutting for that skill. So they put them into barrels? Gotcha. Okay. So when we start to run out of drink, I can start doing that. The barrels or jugs? Gotcha. I'm assuming it would just count as drink. I'm going to kind of do that and gathering for a bit to kind of get away with needing to have a farming area until I can just build a farming area. Yes, it does, in fact. Yeah, it does, in fact, respond to that. Like, our food consumption right now is throwing me off, and it's because we have these extra critters hanging around that I'm not used to having. And need to butcher this yak. You're thinking that's scaling a ton? Is that what you're suggesting? Also, if you'd like a link to this mod and you'd like to try it, it's in the comments of that Reddit thread for the stream. But this is only the first day of this, so we'll be probably playing this most of this week. There's still some other things I need to get done before the holiday, and some other games I need to play and want to play. But we are more or less going to be playing a bunch of this for the remainder of the week. So, looking forward to it. Should be fun. I'm curious to see everything that this mod's got hidden inside of it. Wait, you got people socializing. That's what we need. Oh, hey, you're euphoric to inebriation. Annoyed at the lack of chairs. Well, see, I need to make... one. I don't quite think I need two, but making two will make my life easier. And we're also going to give you masonry. So you can go help with that. Spooky. You're reciting poetry. The memory... Oh, shit. Chat, you know what to do. The memory of cheeses is an example of the Trest glimmer. The work has no particular subject aside from cheese, and is artfully flashes throughout seemingly disjointed topics about cheese. And it moves quickly from subject to subject involving cheese. Overall, the poetry is masterful. In memory of cheeses. It's at the second stanza. That's too silly. I love it. I love it. Too bad the yak is gone, no cheese. I don't really have anywhere to... Well, I mean, I guess I could pasture it outside, but I didn't really pasturing it outside, so... Not too bothered. The memory of cheeses. Oh boy, some Moiguins have waved. Alright, let's start giving some people some nicknames. One! You can be Psychon. She is annoyed at the snowstorm. She is ruled by irresistible cravings and urges and often is filled with joy. She has no confidence at all in her talent and abilities, and she is an optimist. That's a funny set of things. She dislikes helping others and lives a high-energy, kinetic pace. Seeks out exciting and adventurous situations and often finds herself changing her mind to agree with somebody else. She relies on the advice of others during decision-making and has a low sense of self-esteem. She is grateful when others help her out, and she tries to return favors. She often feels envious of others, and she isn't particularly curious about the world. She can handle stress, and she is somewhat quarrelsome. I mean, I'm an optimist with no confidence. I don't know about you. Where was I? Lost my spot. I'm also just editing a thing in the init files in the background. I'm changing my population down to 80 for construction purposes. Still keeping it pretty large though. The game knows you. Oh no. She seeks out exciting and adventurous situations, and she often finds herself changing her mind to agree with somebody else. She relies on the advice of others during decision-making. She has a low sense of self-esteem. She isn't particularly curious about the world and can handle stress. Well, at least, like, you can handle stress. And she is somewhat quarrelsome. She eventually acts with a narrow focus on the current activity, and she tends to not be swayed by emotional appeals. She's slow to anger, and she generally acts impartially. Dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. She likes native aluminum and copper. And tapazolite. Oh, welcome to the fort. We also got a gem cutter. Looks like two beak dogs. Who wants to be the gem cutter, chat? Any dibs? Dream of crafting a masterwork someday. She's the appearance of somebody that is 577 years old and is one of the first of her kind. Old Lady Jimmy. She killed 10 humans in nuts rings. That's nuts. And the contained hill. Backstult? Is that what that was? Back something. Backstut. Backstut. Jimmy. What's the dwarf count? 0. She has the appearance of... Okay, her hair is extremely long. She is muscular. Her nose is extremely short, and her slightly rounded yellow eyes are sunken. Her small lobed ears are tall, and her somewhat tall head is somewhat narrow. Her hair is gray and her skin is dark blue. She personally believes that honesty is a high ideal. Dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. How in the fuck you haven't done that in the last 577 years? God fucking knows. She is unable to make decisions without a great deal of input from others. She is ruled by irresistible cravings and urges and has an overbearing personality. She is extremely confident in herself, requiring her skills, and she seeks out exciting and adventurous situations. She can be very single-minded, and she is quick to form negative views about things. She prefers that everyone live as harmoniously as possible and is somewhat quarrelsome. She tends to not reveal personal information, does not go out of her way to help others. She often is swayed by emotional appeals and is often nervous. She tends to avoid any physical confrontations, and she works to square this natural tendency with her respect of martial prowess. She could be considered rude and likes to keep things practical without delving too deep into the abstract. And she is pleased by her own appearance and talents. She is somewhat focused with satisfied needs. No, this is a Goblin Fort, my dude. Goblin. Blue? Find me a blue elf. And I'll eat my shoe. Please don't, because you could just mod the game. Also, technically, this is a Frost Goblin Fort. Specifically. Someone didn't read the title. But no, we got goblins and trolls. Our expedition leader is a troll, too, which is kind of great. And I'm kind of hoping we get a troll from Air. Goblins? Green? Someone doesn't know anything. Can we tell them, chat? Goblins in Dwarf Fortress are usually green or gray. Various shades of green and gray. And they usually have, like, dark-colored hair. But they're not green, necessarily. All right. There's varying colors that they can be. So we need to start digging. It's a matter of where. Yes, but this is Dwarf Fortress, not your favorite local-friendly depiction, right? Also, this is modded Dwarf Fortress, where we're not even playing normal Dwarf Fortress. But in Dwarf Fortress, they're green and gray. It's got nothing to do with modern depictions. Dwarf takes ideas from modern depictions, but is largely unique. Especially in, like, the size and shape of elves. Elves are, like, the same height as dwarves. They're just skinny. Like, elves in Dwarf Fortress are almost more gnome-like. Yeah, they are kind of like fae folk. I tend to agree. Speaking of fae folk, super underutilized, interesting as hell mythical creatures. Fair enough, Verbose. You're missing like half of the game though. They could be tall and skinny. Yes, I know. I'm aware of the cubic volumes. Well, this mod comes with two options. Right? The first option is, well, 3 options technically. You can play as dwarves, play as polar elves who use metals and have flying mounts, and frost goblins. We've discovered an expansive cavern deep within the depths of the undergrounds. That's fun. And we have a water source. And also ruined my digging plans entirely. Well, that's wonderful. Where do I want to go about this? How do I want to go about this? I could just go around it. What is that? Koboldite? Yep. What do you mean you need to change the way you build forts? Build forts the way you like to look at, or the way you would want to look at a thing. And if you like looking at your forts, then you're building your forts perfectly. Don't change anything. That's the only thing that matters in how you build your forts. Build them the way you want to look at them. Or in a way where you like looking at them. If you're building them in a way where you like looking at them, you are building them perfectly. For right now, we're just going to do upstairs, but I can make these into up-downstairs later. That is the wrong button. That's the button I wanted. Can also make this look cooler later. You want to know how to not get wrecked by werebeasts? Build a door. That's it. But there is no correct way to build a fort. But yeah, build a door, the front of your statue radar. I love that term. Statue radar, a little group of livestock at the front door, but like literally one lockable door and something outside to spot them for you. That's all you need. Literally one door. They can't break down doors. They're not, they don't break doors down. So they'll just get stuck in front of the locked door and they'll be like, blah! And then they'll turn around and then they'll run away. Also, largely the reason I'm going for the water down in the caverns is because I think it'd be fun. Have like a cavern water supply. Trying to figure out how to do this. You have a door and a big bridge, but then you can't go outside when there's a goblin invasion. What? Why can't you go outside when there's a goblin invasion? I'm not sure what goblin invasion has to do with were creatures. Because to stop a were creature, all you need to do is see them coming and lock the door. That's it. Just unlock the door and go outside when there's a goblin invasion. I guess I'm missing the part where you keep getting wrecked by were creatures. Not sure how that how these two things connect, I guess. Also, we're going to get rid of those. Cancel all these. Gonna need buckets. Also going to need rope. Or a chain. I should just start farming. Buckets. What's the button for bucket? I always forget the button for bucket. Alright, because I'm in the wrong shop, duh. Buckets. Let's do... Couple of these. Couple of those. Why do you want to be able to kill the werebeast? Just let the werebeast leave, it's fine. Your current game has a siege going on and you're just walled in. They'll leave eventually, Justin. Well, here's the thing, right? Even if you have like A+ tier master quality military, fighting a werebeast is the worst idea. Because they only need to bite you once. That's all that they need to do is bite you once, and then you're done. That whole dwarf, or whatever, is done, right? So... that's your problem, is trying to fight them. But if you want to fight them, then by all means. But just, I have no advice to give you, because my advice is don't fight them until they've turned back from a were creature into whatever they were previously. We're always winning. Come on, Boo. Please. Good evening, Mind. How are you? Afternoon here, but... So if you're dying to were creatures and wondering why you're dying to were creatures, but at the same time also trying to fight were creatures, I can tell you why you're dying to were creatures. It's because you're letting were creatures in. You can't put characters that are not part of your civ on trial. But the best way to catch a werebeast is have a really long hallway into your fort, have a door that you can lock, and a burrow that you can lock your dwarves in. Tell them to go into the burrow, right? Then they'll lock themselves into the burrow. And the literal second you tell them to lock themselves into the burrow... Actually, you know what? The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to smooth this. Well... I don't want you to die, though. Actually, you know what? Let's do this way. Let's go here, and then let's smooth this. I don't actually think I have anybody who can do smoothing, so let's give you stone detailing. But have a long hallway with a door at the end. They run down the hallway and have cage traps. And hopefully get distracted in the hallway long enough trying to get through your door that you will lock and then unlock and then lock and then unlock. So they run back and forth. And then when you're done with that, then when you're done with that, locking the door and unlocking the door, etc. And they've run back and forth. Once they become whatever they were previously, they'll then run back and get caught in your cage traps. That's the best way to catch a were creature. Hands down. You know, ironically, that's a bug. They shouldn't join in a wave of migrants. Like, legit. That's a bug that shouldn't happen. Tarn has stated before that's a bug. They also are not supposed to just show up in your tavern as guests. So, also, I've legit never had that happen. I don't know what people are doing to generate their worlds to have that happen, but it's not supposed to happen. But at that point, you just look for people that have a lot of kills and keep a fucking close eye on them. Watch the moon and wait for full moon. Usually, if there's were creatures in your fort for any reason, and I literally mean any reason, it's usually because you let them in willingly or unknowingly. Also, what time of year is it? Late summer? Need to make a crafting or a trading depot at some point. I need to take a leak. I'll be back in a sec. One of my neighbors is putting up Christmas baubles outside. All right, so no water source. We've basically got access to it. I just need to do a few things. Let's jump down here, here. Smooth these. Actually, no, just smooth the whole thing. And then the other thing I can also do is a temporary water solution. Mine through that. Can build a wall here later. Actually, just not mine through these three. Because we need water. Which will become a water source momentarily. Clearly you don't look at DF streams very often because this is like a Monday for me. Alright. There we go. Now we has water. Fuck, I struck native gold? Ooh. Well, we are rich. That's about it. Also, alt reality. Fun fact. You've been in my stream before? You were last here 7/8/2020. So, you've not only been here before, but this is not abnormal for me. Like, yeah, we have slow days, but... Also, word of advice. Don't ever just drop into a channel and be like, wow, X number of viewers. Kind of rude. All right, we shouldn't have too many problems with water now for these poor goblins. We'll give them fancier beverages soon, but for right now, this is what we get. I have lifetime chat logs as well as number of times people have been here. But I stream Dwarf Fortress generally around 5 days a week, and we usually have about 50 to 100 people watching. Oh. Well, Outpost Liaison's arrived. Very curious to know if he'll be able to talk with our troll expedition leader. Captain Duck hasn't streamed DF in a very long time. Well, looks like it is the dwarves. What do you look like? Hair is extremely long, a once thin frame, now ballarded. Very wide set. Yellow eyes are sunken. Very low cheekbones. It shows the moon phase. If it's a 0, it means it's a full moon. If you want to see how much I stream DF, just look at my YouTube channel. That'll show you how much I stream Dwarf Fortress. This is going to take forever to dig out. So, just get to hang out for a bit. I would argue it's not a game. I would argue it's a simulation. A troll has given birth to a girl. We have a tabby, or in my and my expedition leader troll has also had a baby. Well, good to know the trolls are doing their work. Our expedition leader tame troll has had a baby. At least the trolls have been getting busy while we're over here doing goblin things. You would argue it's a cult. I mean, I would argue against that, but you can never leave. Let's make all this priority numero uno. Trolls are doing the Lord's work. Be kind and multiply. I haven't even looked at our religions or gods yet. Otsmar Zmolsko Obslon. Otsmar trade sold the West. Is a deity of the enchanter of control, and takes the form of a male frost goblin and is associated with trade. God of trade. Get rid of it? You use it. Why would you atom smash stone? You make it into bricks and other things. What? Why in the world would you atom smash stone? This guy's trying to eat the stuff that this person is carrying. I am your liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation, troll. And the troll responds with, there's much to share. What request do you have of our merchants? At this point, iron? I was gonna say steel, but I'm not seeing it on here. All right, iron and silver, bronze and brass, iron anvils, whips, picks. That's about it. Well, then we've finalized our import agreement. Feel free to go over the documents. I don't feel like doing voices. Let's discuss what we're willing to offer you for crash our ship. It said she had a scratchy voice, so. Zokol says, I look forward to our meeting next year. Our fortunes rise and fall together. I mean, like anything, with time and repetition, you develop new habits, right? Sometimes I do lots of excavating, sometimes I do lots of building. I think it's silly to say, I do almost none of that and only this. Because you don't know. Maybe one day you'll be bored and you'll build a big tower too. You also remember that big tower is kind of an anomaly. Not very representative to the forts I generally build. How are they capitalist? They have no money, though. Yeah, and that means what exactly? The as of now comment. This is true. They do have a god of trade. I guess I'm kind of understanding what you're saying more now. Oh, also, DBH to hide stuff if you don't want to see the folders that are there. You can just do that. Okay. Well, you're the one who said it. I simply responded with my take on what you said. But remember, there is no right or wrong way of doing things. I don't play this game like some genius. I play this game the way I feel like playing it. You should too. If that's only live in one giant box, you could do that. Which, oddly enough, is actually kind of optimal. It's one giant box on one layer, carve out an entire layer and just have open frames. Open sleeping situation. They don't care that much. They prefer to have walls, but they really don't care. You can get by just like digging out one entire underground layer and living in that. And it's a perfectly legitimate way to play. There you go. That's our well. We can seal this back in. How nice. I play like a stoner who plays too many video games, and that's what I say about all the compliments I get. Is legendary in something. Competent hammerman. Competent lasher, legendary gem cutter. Keep in mind that this goblin is also like as old as time. Perfect sense. Gotta seal that off. Your calculator only charges on one port in your computer, and your PS4 controller only works on a different one. What is this? I can't say I've been in that situation, so I have no idea. We have a woodcutter who has made it here. Who I was almost expecting to get attacked. Ooh, kind of... That's a cool look. Just the trees ripening next to the snow. That's actually really cool. One of Santa's little helpers? One of Krampus's little helpers, actually. But hey, Clino, how's things? I am playing with this mod. Also in the comments of the Reddit thread. Which was made by Joe Ligma in the chat. So, does anybody else want to goblin? Because we do have, you know, a few new ones that just showed up. If you'd like a goblin, just shout at me. These new guys show up. Ooh, a siege engineer. What's your day job? Axon would like goblin. You were content after putting on a finely crafted item. Skilled warrior is a sight to behold. Sluzz. Axon. My phone is vibrating. I wonder why that be. Oh. My COVID vaccine booster shot is available. Well, shit. Guess I should book that. Neat. I was literally just starting to wonder when they were going to send those out to us. Cool. I'll do that after stream. I just have to fill out a form and book a day. So Axon, a skilled warrior is a beautiful sight to behold. Which also means I get to go, like, probably vomit for a day. Because I've been taking, I've gotten shots of Moderna up until now, and I'm assuming that's what they're going to give me again, but generally means it's like, yeah, I get a 24-hour flu. So that'll be like a, probably a Caves of Cud stream where I want to vomit the whole time. Anyway, this dwarf is 261 years old and born on the 1st of Granite in the year 240. His hair is extremely long and he is incredibly skinny. His teeth are tangled and he has very low cheekbones. He has a broad square chin and yellow eyes that are sunken. His somewhat broad ears are tall, and his hair is gray and his skin is cerulean. You got 2 rounds of Pfizer and you got sick as you've ever been about 2 days. Yeah, the first shot was kind of okay for me, Stormcast. The first shot was kind of okay. I'm disabled, so I got vaccinated way before most people here anyway. And I got my first shot of Moderna. It gave me like a 24-hour headache and like mild fever. But the second shot of Moderna, I legit didn't get out of bed for 2 days. Like I canceled a stream and was bedridden for 2 days. I basically just had the flu. It's definitely for 47.05. So that sounds like a listing issue. It's definitely for current version. He personally doesn't really value independence one way or another and dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. He has great trouble mastering fear when confronted by danger. That's a first. Dislikes helping others and has little time for forgiveness and will generally seek retribution. Seeks out exciting and adventurous situations and feels strong urges and seeks short-term rewards. Doesn't stick to things even if minor difficulties arise and lives at a high energy and kinetic pace. Prefers to present himself modestly and generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. He tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions and is quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture. He likes to brawl and doesn't often feel envious of others. He is slow to trust others and he is often cheerful. Generally finds himself quite hopeful about the future and tends to make a small mess of his own possessions. He does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity and is conflicted by this as he values artwork and its creation. And you know what, Axon? I have a job for you. There you are, Sluz. Sluz, you're going to be our broker, bookkeeper, etc. Where'd you go? Sluz. And Sluz. And I'm just going to jump down to this mason shop, and you're going to start making blocks, and you're going to do table, tables. And actually, we're going to cancel that and go throne, door, throne, etc. This fort just started 3 hours ago, give or take. This is all from today. I do seasonal playthroughs, but my main fort is a fort I'm keeping alive for 1,000 years. So generally, I'm just building on the same fort and the same fort. This one we're gonna probably play either until New Year's or until holiday, just to have some variety in here. So we'll take a little break from my bajillion hour-long fortress and do this for a bit. You got no noticeable effects when you got Moderna? Huh, interesting. I mean, everybody reacts differently, right? I mean, I got super, super sick after the last one that I had mined, and I don't give a fuck. I'll take them whenever they give them to me. People who get scared of shots are a bunch of pansies and need to just fucking go get vaccinated. Unless you have legitimate allergies where it could kill you, just go get vaccinated. Quit complaining. I realize that's not always the most popular take to have, but fucking go get vaccinated. Keep taking them. I'm somebody who gets sick from the flu shot every year, and I've taken them for as many years as I've been alive, more or less. As long as they've been available. Only stiff arm? Yeah, fuck yeah. That's about all you need. I'm just doing chunks at a time this way. We're up to 20 gubbins. Ooh. Cave Swallow Woman. So one of my trolls ran off, somehow managed to run off into the caverns. Or a troll. Maybe not one of my trolls. Anyway, there was a troll in the cavern, and allegedly there's cave swallow people down in the basement. Oh yeah, there they are. There's also what looks like a dead giant spider. Yeah, giant cave spider. I don't believe I've ever seen cave swallow people. That's terrifying. They can fly. Good shit, Oswix. Bet you didn't get it. I hope that your roommate was okay, though. Yeah, like a harsh flu for 2 days is better than getting anything that would be worse. So, I mean, like there's a real situation where I could theoretically get hospitalized from taking the vaccine, and I'm still gonna take it. So, well, duh. You're not gonna get it like if you do get it and you're vaccinated, like it'll be mild as hell. So, it's literally just a human stupidity test. That's all it is. I don't know what to do with this sand. Is it okay after a week of painful coughing and breathing? I'm glad he's okay, but also fucking moron. Like I said, I have like no sympathy for people. Glass walls. Well, let's see what the colors look like on this first. Minor arm pain ×3. You know that minor arm pain? Just remember, people like me have to give themselves 4 to 5 injections a day. You know that minor arm pain? Never goes away. And I've actually had people say that the arm pain was so bad that I couldn't do this. No, I couldn't survive. It's like, my God, you should try being me for a week. Keel over and die. And I've legit seen people have that argument before. No. At the end of the day, just do it for the people around you, not yourself. But we're also all tired of listening to this shit, so happy holidays! Don't get sick. I remember you talking about that last week. Sweet. My raven deer cows are having babies. Versus people who think the vaccine will make them go to hell. They should Darwin Awards themselves off the planet is what they should do. Axon. People who think that the vaccine will make them go to hell. Like, genuinely. That's me just being an asshole, but also genuinely, they should Darwin Awards themselves off the fucking planet. You managed to get sick differently? I got a completely... I didn't talk about this on stream at all, but I got a completely normal cold. And I went and got tested at my pharmacy and got the results back the next day. They're like, you have a cold. And I was like, fuck, how did I manage that? It's like, you got the common cold. Great. The only real symptoms I had was like, I kind of lost my voice after talking for a bit. Bladder infection? Well, I'm glad you went and got that checked. Jeez. Yeah, that's no fucking joke, that. Oh, I need to deconstruct the wagon. I also need to move stuff underground, though. Also, curious about something, because I have this polar bear. Can I just say that... Oh, these are Peak Dog pups. That makes sense. I was like, why can't I war train the Peak Dogs? What? Also, I can't war train the bear? That's distressing. Maybe because it's somebody's pet. I need to get rid of this loop-de-loop that they keep running around. It's fun when I initially dug it out, but now it's just causing pathing problems. You mean muscle soreness, not the injection? You're doing the... Oh, you're doing the opposite. I understand what you mean by muscle soreness. Because, like, my dad was complaining about sore arm, not even muscle soreness, like, just, like, the area around where he got the stab for his first one. He was like, that is annoying, sore arm. I'm like, shut up. Like, that never goes away. But, yeah, I understand what you mean by, like, sickness, muscle soreness, like, when you feel like you have the flu and it's, like, everything's just kind of achy, like that kind of thing. Yeah, that's what the first shot was like for me. Very much just achy muscle soreness. It was, like, unpleasant, but it's not, like, life-ending. We'll see you later, Psychon. I'm just going to say that I flat disagree with that take. Mind, you can leave it at that if you want. I have a friend who's got a similar take, and I don't hang out with him anymore. Because I can't. Are the trolls dancing? Yep. Cheers, Psychon. You have a good one. All right. Yeah, I've never had any kind of bladder infections, so, but I can believe it. Doesn't sound fun. Does not sound fun. Bad. Yeah, no, the trolls help with hauling and construction and basic tasks like that, and cleaning. But they can't manually be assigned tasks, so they're essentially like our extra little helpers. Like volunteer labor. Cancels eat, item inaccessible. Ha! Interns. Yes. Interns. All right, interns. You could definitely call them interns if you wanted. You've been rubbing a bug bite? That's hilarious, actually. That you thought that you got a bug bite and you thought that that was the injection? You hope you feel well enough to go to your internship enough. You prepared? Oh, I hope so too. I'm sure you'll be okay. Often, I've had things in the past where I've had to take antibiotics for different infections, not for a bladder infection, fortunately, but usually the antibiotics kick in pretty quick. You start to feel better quite fast. When your fort was destroyed by about 10 tentacle demons, like octopus demons? Or were they literally called tentacle demons? The demons that appeared in your wall of your bedrooms, 20 floors above them, outside of the fort. Huh. Oh, 5 years ago? Weird. We had somebody in chat relatively recently who was swearing up, down, left, and right that they were constantly getting invaded by a by goblin armies that were being headed up by demons. Like, you read their description and it was like legit like demon commander of the goblin faction that was invading them, just on repeat, like constantly, like a couple times a year. It was very interesting, like, because it was one of their first ever forts, and they're like, is this normal? We're like, no, that is not normal. I've never seen like multiple demons in a goblin army. It was like screenshots and everything, like that within the first season of your fort. It's what, where just like a necromancer shows up and just fucks everybody up? Yeah. It can be glorious that way, that's for sure. Sure can be. Certainly a non-standard situation, yeah. Became a herbalist in the human hamlet. My favorite ones are the ones that just go around like participating in wrestling competitions and then like losing to humans and shit. Because I just read that like, oh, so they just went to the tournaments like in Dragon Ball. I understand this. I've seen this anime. Because like legit, that's what a lot of them do. They're just like, yeah, I'm just going to go be in Dragon Ball. Are you actually a real doctor? Damn, we have a legendary surgeon and a grandmaster bone doctor. Well, we found our chief medical goblin. Legendary diagnoser? How old are you? 421 years old. Damn it, 1 year off. Be merry, they say. Sweet. Felt giddy while performing. Why is the little G's making you nervous? Are you worried that they're geese or something? I mean, the only response to that is, oh, jeez. Anybody want to be our chief medical goblin? Any takers? Geese are indeed lethal, unless you're in Canada, in which case they're incredibly chill. There's a photo of me on the internet from earlier this year, lying down in a park in the middle of a flock of geese. Too late, Axon. You're already named. You are other goblin already. You're our manager, dude. So no, you can't have doubles. Within the last season, he felt funness. Speaking with an acquaintance. You're scared of geese? Don't be. Like, legit, like, geese are super fucking chill. Just don't hit them. Like, in the last In the entirety of my life, the only time I've seen a goose attack somebody is because the child chased it. It's the only reason. And tried to grab it. It's the only reason I've seen a goose attack somebody. Just lie down in the middle of a flock of geese. Just don't touch them, and they don't care. They're wild animals. Just give them some space. Win that award? I don't as somebody who lives around in an area that have fuck tons of geese, fuck tons of gulls, fuck tons of crows, and fuck tons of pigeons, I do not understand why people hate birds. Like, they're super chill. They just kind of fly around you sometimes. And I've been attacked by a crow before. And it's like, I know people who hate geese, crows, pigeons, and seagulls. And I don't understand it. They just exist. Like, just let them exist and give them some space and they're fine. They poop everywhere, but who cares? So does dogs, and plenty of owners don't pick up dog poop. I step on dog poop more often than fucking seagull poop. But anyway, he is 421 years old, born on the 23rd of Opal in the year 80. His hair is extremely long. He is incredibly skinny. His nose bridge is convex. His somewhat splayed out ears are incredibly tall. His head is somewhat broad. His hair is gray. His skin is cobalt, and his eyes are yellow. I mean, if a bird shit on my head, I would hate that particular bird too, but I don't hate an entire species based off the fact that one of them shit on me once. I almost had a crow poop on a pizza I was eating when I was little. It smacked into the car window that was open about that much, and this is like where the window started, and it pooped right there. Almost hit the pizza. I was sitting inside of a car in the passenger seat. Fucking sniper. He missed, though. Which was one of the funniest moments of my life, by the way. Then don't leave your food alone. Sheesh, Oswix. He's given to rough and tumble brawling. That must be why he's good at, like, doctoring, because he beats people up. Even to the point of starting fights for no reason. He is frequently depressed and dislikes abstract discussions. How the fuck have you lived this long? He would much rather focus on practical examples. He can be very happy and enthusiastic, even though he's frequently depressed, and has little time for forgiveness, will generally seek retribution. He seeks out exciting and adventurous situations and is very comfortable around others that live different from himself. He is prone to hatreds and often develops negative feelings and is sometimes cruel. Takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful and lives a fast-paced life. He is somewhat quarrelsome and likes to do things correctly each time. He tries to keep his things orderly, and he tends to be swayed by the emotions of others. He doesn't have a great aesthetic sensitivity, and he is conflicted by this as he values artwork and his creation. And he is... wait, what? He mutters under his breath when he's bored, and he is somewhat focused with satisfied needs. Oh no, we have somebody who's injured. Bang! Oh no, you're still injured. Bang! Oh no, you're still injured. Bang! Let's give you some nose surgery. Seems like an appropriate goblin doctor. I don't know about you. I always hit K for kitchen, and I know it's not the kitchen. You're a weaver, which I really don't need much of right now. I do, however, need a cook. And the other thing that we need is mechanic. Ooh, check this out. It's a silver Christmas tree covered in candy canes, I assume. All right, let's just deconstruct this. Let's get them away from the wagon and underground. Guys are supposed to go to the meeting zone, you numbskulls. Oh, I see. I set it to inactive somehow. How the heck did I manage to do that? Another thing I gotta do. We'll just section off this corner down here. Meeting, location, add, temple. No specific deity. Life of confusion. I agree. Life is confusion. Making so-called warful self-unemployment can be a hassle. Make sure you are needed. Tend to agree. Let's plop a bridge down over there. Well, they mine all this out. You are going to make some lavish meals and do that on repeat. We're going to pop back up here and we're going to gather plants. Man, that's 2 of those today. I still think it's genuinely hilarious that, like, I didn't have a bot like that post in my chat for literally years. And then Twitch improves their chat moderation abilities and now they're all over the place and I can't get rid of them. Without just blocking all links, which I don't want to do, so. Because frankly, I'm not willing to block all links. One's the peak of quiescence. What? On? What god is that? Most often next to male frost goblin and the god of hospitality. And also, female frost goblin, Sloran, the silver of flax, associated with wealth, jewels, minerals, metals, salt, and oceans. Interesting. You have a lover who's not in the fort, and 2 former masters, and a close friend. Jimmy. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of hate it. I just miss the days of, like, blocking all accounts that didn't have a verified email because it just nuked all of them. Like, there's very granular, like, moderation options now. And I have it set so that you need a verified email. And all of these accounts just get in now with, like, no restrictions, which is a little bit frustrating. All right. There you go. A little crowd of gubbins. Look at them go. Let's see if YouTube has sorted its shit out yet. Or if YouTube is still weirdly broken. Seems to be sorting its shit out. I don't see any randomly unavailable / demonetized videos. Cool. Seems like YouTube fixed itself. Still a weird 10 minutes though. I woke up this morning and like the vast majority of my YouTube videos were not available for monetization for some reason. Some unknown question mark reason. Without any email or any response or any comment from YouTube. And assuming now it's just a bug because it all seems to have kind of gone back. And another dwarven faction has arrived. to trade, but I don't have a trading depot. It's a different faction. That one doesn't have one. That's the second trading faction that's shown up. I'm not going to trade until year 2. Almost never do. But yeah, they have no outpost liaison, which is how curious. Also, thanks for all the follows, lads. A bunch of new follows today. If you're brand new here and you have any questions, just give me a shout. Oh, hey. The Polar Elves have arrived. They seem to have brought yaks. I'm very curious about what... Wait, hold on a second. Are the Polar Elves going to get mad at me if I try and sell them... If I try and sell them wood? Just gotta check. Snow Vulture leather. They don't care about plants as much? Okay. Also, damn. Between, like... That's 2 Dwarven factions and an Elven faction that have all tried to trade with me. 2 Dwarves and 1 Elves. That's a lot of traders. We're actually in a pretty active world. Actually, it's one thing I can check, though. What's going on? Let's see. A group calling itself the Old Roof reclaimed Lantern Bulbous on behalf of the blockaded Palisade. Okay, so there's groups reclaiming things on the map. I was kind of curious about how active the map is right now. Kind of curious. Let's just have a peek around. It's like there's a known army up here. Or artifact, rather. What about down here? Ooh, Top Rope Shoveled was kidnapped from Calm Downs by Atu King Cruelty. Someone who's kidnapping humans. Got some child nappers. Actually, kind of a lot. All these here, I'll hide my camera. All these little A's here are child nappers. Astrong Fiend Goo. I don't want to know what a Fiend Goo is, but interesting. What else do we have? Kind of wondering if there's any wars going on, but it really doesn't look like it. Yeah, it just kind of looks like it's like the one group is reclaiming that, and then a lot of kidnappings going on down here. A lot. That's kind of cool. Can learn a lot about the world just by looking at that. So now we need to figure out what the actual goal for this run's gonna be. Let's get all counts accurate real quick. So we've got beak dogs, raven deers, and a polar bear. Seem to run around pretty happily. Do I not have a mechanic? Axon, we're going to give you mechanics. You're a siege engineer by trade, but we're going to give you mechanics as a side gig. So what do you guys think of this fort so far? The big thing that we need to figure out exactly what the goal for this fort is, because that's like the one kind of problem I have whenever I go into a mod, is I never really know what I should do. There's part of me that's like, I think it'd be kind of fun to just go to war with a bunch of people, like go to war with the Frost Elves, and then if time allows, then, or the Northern Elves, or the Polar Elves, that's the name of them, and then play as the Polar Elves for a bit once we start a war. That could be fun. So do like 3-4 days of this, and then do like 2 or 3 days of that. Like Fendos early nice. Wait, what? Starting good? It's definitely like not a bad start, that's for sure. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure what you're trying to say, but no, if this is not long death. Looking at the title, mind will get you super far into realizing that it is not it's not long death. Almost like reading and research, like, you know, you learn things, right? Well, I mean, they're goblins, right? So they're gonna be legendary. You come in here on reflex? Well, that's your fault for coming in here with acid reflex. You learn a lot from looking at the title of streams. But we're not even playing as dwarves, which is going to be a bit of a giveaway that it's not long death. We're playing as goblins. Good lord, I keep getting errors on my own stream. Can I build a zoo? No more or less than you could normally. Can they be domesticated? Nope, they're hostile. One die. Dwarf Fortress still works the same way Dwarf Fortress works, even though it's modded. Not suddenly a different game. All right, I need to dig out a tavern. One, two, three. Three. Welp. Hey, Zane. What is up? Making these rooms too large. Do I care? Go. 1, 2, 3. That's accurate. Looks correct. Well, what they what use are they? What use are they? In regards to the cavern people, they're exactly the same as all other cavern people. They're basically just like uncivilized hoodlums that need to be dissected into billions of little pieces. And they are of no use. But like, unfortunately, that's a large majority of the things in Dwarf Fortress, is that there's a lot of things that are like passing thoughts slash ideas from Arn and Zach that never really get proper care because development gets distracted and then they go do other things. But I'm just going to let them be. Not too worried about them. But that's not really a fortress goal. Doesn't really, help much. Need more miners, but I don't think I have more picks. Sandperry Yule log is a weapon, allegedly. That's kind of funny. No, it's a noise generator. I can give you a link if you like. DF has no music.
This is madness!
Madness?
Stone hobo.
Yeet. Hobo, how we doing today? Things are good. I have been okayed to go get my booster shot, which I'm very happy about. Question is, where is this stuff? Oh, okay. It's the stuff that they've brought. Going to ignore it then. You still listen to the music in game? It's from MyNoise. They it's a bunch of like free to use noise generators. So you can get everything from like Stormy Rain to like Medieval Village to random space beep boops. A lot of those ambience videos that you watch probably have elements taken from this website. It's one of the most used sound generators in Earth. And they're one of those websites that are like, hey, you use this a lot. Please give us $5. So I give them $5 every so often. Oh, no. I found clay. Stuff we're going to have to go and fix later. Although on the bright side, they dig those real fast. No problem, Wes. Happy to help. So this down here. It makes them less happy with you, but you have to ignore them like 5-6 years in a row for them to stop coming. I generally ignore them the first year. This poor guy. Carrying longland grass, a bunch of hide roots. Like this, look how slow he's moving. He's carrying too much stuff. Yes, it does make them less likely to return, but it's pretty unlikely if you ignore them once that they won't ever show up again. In fact, that almost never happens. Although I really should be buying picks from them, and some cloth, and some rope, for that matter. I have none of that stuff. Welcome back, Critty. How's the fort and how's your gob? Well, your gob boy is digging. Satisfied after some work. Bored after leading an unexciting life for so long. That's how your gob is. And annoyed after drinking water without a well. Just put some tables and chairs down. Same. Yep. I feel that as well. Although my life can be kind of exciting sometimes. Dirty rock mechanisms. But I need my mechanic to quit being a lazy little tit and actually get over here and do mechanic stuff. Let's give you a side gig. Because you're doing nothing. This fort is going to take a long, I do mean a long time, to actually finish smoothing everything. Like, we can get working on this right now, and it's going to take forever. I think this is going to be kind of like main, well, maybe not main, but like it's going to be connected to some our storage rooms. I'm not sure how I'm going to design this, but there's going to be some sort of storage room down here, and then like 2 or 3 layers down, we'll put our tavern and temples layer. So Hobo's just chilling. Well, that's good to hear, man. Bet somebody is. My foot just cracked in like 4 places because I stretched it. Just watching through a Resident Evil 4 Let's Play. Did you get a chance to go back and rewatch the final 5 laps of the Grand Prix? That is over a growing pile of to-play games? Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Mean the bullshit of the last lap? Nah, it's not bullshit. Mercedes could have won if they pitted, changed tires. They would have had the advantage. They would have won. They just had to pit at the beginning right when they had to pit right when Max did. Max probably would have done the opposite strat and wouldn't have pit. So, no, I don't mean the bullshit of the last lap. I mean some quality racing. As Hobo's sound command that he made me add last night will describe. And I'm not even a Max fan. I don't actually care who wins. I just think it was an entertaining race.
Toto? Yes. It's called a motor race, okay? We went to car racing.
It's true. They went car racing. In before Sky Sports comes after me for having that. We'll see. Investments are open if you want to invest your tickets, chat. It's gonna take a while. I need more picks. Pray to Dukro. What's that? Aw. Spooky and Joe are lovers. That's cute. Most often takes the form of a male frost goblin and is associated with lakes and rivers. That's cool. You know, we should maybe make that my farm up top here. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. This is going to be our farm up here. I'll do the top half of that first. Although I could even do this. I can need that much food. But I need some sort of food source. We'll do stockpile down here. Food up there. On a certain baby. Well, I hope it's your baby. Be kind of odd if you were changing the diaper on somebody else's. I think we can also park our beak dogs down here. It's nice though that we're getting baby beak dogs. We're gonna have a good food supply pretty soon. We're gonna be wearing lots of leathers. I kind of feel like we should be wearing a lot of like beak dog leather and such. Raven deer leather. All that good shenanigans. Let's also give you farming. I need more field farmers. There you go. On helmets. I'm kind of sad there isn't like a holiday-themed underground one. I mean, like there's quarry bushes, but... Give us like, I don't know. Chat, what's a holiday treat that you think would grow underground? Oh, I know. Fruitcakes. That shit looks like dirt. Yams? That's... Okay, what is something that isn't actually a plant that would grow underground in a cave? Yams don't grow in caves, dude. They need sunlight. And also, Dwarf Fortress already has tubers, so it's not exactly helpful. It needs to be something that Dwarf Fortress doesn't currently have. Gingerbread mushrooms? Gingerbread tops? Or like ginger tops, maybe? I'm trying to think of like mushroom terms. Like, if you want to do it in a cheaty way, you could also just literally make them plump helmets. But with a different name. And there we go. There's our seed stockpile. And this lever is going to have the very important name of gate. Very important. Just so that I remember, of course, that it's the gate. It's gonna lock that. And I'm gonna go out here. I'm going to make a zone about ye big. And it's going to be a pen pasture. And we are going to... Wait, actually, I set that as a pit pond, not a pen pasture. And I'm going to put a beak dog pup there. And that's going to be my guard pup. The best kind of pup. Put a trading depot there. And here come the seeds. It's excellent. I could almost take all of these goblins off of hauling and just make the trolls do the hauling. Could almost do that. Best kind of pups is the ones you get to pet. Yeah, you can pet anything in Dwarf Fortress, yeah. Even a zombie. You could give that zombie head pets. And a belly scratch. That's a loading bar I've never seen before. Spring's arrived. I'm just going to do a hard save because I don't have autosave turned on right now. Just doing a hard save real quick. But yeah, no real lag, no issues. Seems pretty stable. Generally, if I'm messing around with a mod and it doesn't crash after 8 Pocket World gens, it's probably pretty stable, and I didn't encounter a single crash when I generated a bunch of Pocket Worlds last night, so... How are we all today? I'm doing all right. Just got notice that I get to go get my booster shot, which I'm excited about now. Which means I get to argue with my friend who doesn't really want a booster shot, even though he's had his other 2, but... I'll convince him, though. Convinced him about the first 2, so gotta convince him about the second 2. Sounds like a fun convo. I don't know how well you know me, Stormcast, but I am a very much hardened lefty to the point of being kind of like a bit of an asinine twit at times. He's kind of centrist right-leaning. Literally all we do is we go to bars, we get drunk, and then we argue politics, and we've been best friends for like 11 years now, so... Like, this has been my whole life. Literally, like my whole adult life is just arguing with my friend Kevin. It's fine. He comes around eventually. Because he doesn't like being told what to do. That's why. But, you know. No, he's a American lefty. He's an American leftist. A Canadian, like, centrist. By that I mean he's a Canadian who owns guns. So you're similar-ish to Canadian sensibilities then. Norway's not too far off from Canada as far as like general sensibilities. As a self-proclaimed socialist, yeah, I know where you're coming from. Come on, dwarves. I mean, goblins. One thing I can say about these goblins is they always want to remind us, GG! Yeah. Close in nature and political climate. Ooh, a hammerman's visiting. A hammered man is visiting. We got a swordsman and a hammered man. Interesting. No zombies yet. I've been wondering about that. Our first visitors. They've come to visit our temple, which is the only public building in the fort. I read that as pray to something else, but... Holy crap, by the way. So, Stormcast, You have a bunch of kids. You've got a pretty in-depth family tree. Look at this shit. You've also got a lover who's not in this fort. And a bunch of deities. Already making friends with long-term acquaintances. Neat. So they will dig all the way up to that line of 2s, and then they will go up there and work on that. Although... You know what? Let's see if I can... That'll be better. Just want them to, like, cut out that top half chunk so that we can just make that into a garden. It's a personal quest, it seems. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. I don't actually... Like, kidnapping is something that I really hope gets implemented with the Villains Part 2 update. Because, like, right now, there's not a lot of evil things you can do. But Villains Part 2 has some features that's like, man, I would love to be able to, like, I want to go kidnap the king of that fort. I need 5 legendary dwarves with legendary ambushing. Let's go get them. I wish I could do that. Like, Twitch's app just crashed? Bolted? That's strange. The internet seems to be taking a dump today, though. Like, just in general. YouTube was telling me earlier today that all of my videos were demonetized, which turns out is not true, and I was not the only person seeing that on YouTube. Other people were getting the same issue. So, that, and also my email refused to load this morning, and Discord keeps going offline, so... Is that the Java-related one? Which, by the way, that Java exploit is drastically delaying our ability to make an updated community Minecraft server. As my stream team, we run free community servers for people that subscribe to us. I guess they're not free, but we whitelist people for a lifetime for just subscribing once, and to any of my team members or myself. And we have a Minecraft server that's public. Technically, you just need to join a Discord server to get in there. And we were planning on updating it, but we can't because the server infrastructure hasn't been okayed yet. You're having issues with Steam earlier? I was having issues with Steam installing a game the other day, and then I realized that the reason I was having issues with Steam installing the game is because I didn't have any room on my hard drive. Took me like a day to figure that out. A fun day. That's weird. After I dig this hole out, this is going to be like my stockpiles. So this side's gonna be for finished goods, and this side's gonna like be my farming zone, which I'll pretty up. But for right now, that's gonna be my farming zone. And then we're going to go back up to this layer and wait for them to finish digging this out. And then we could either start on bedrooms or I could make a proper tavern. They seem to be pretty happy with this temporary tavern, so I could just leave it there. Not coffer. Coffin. Coffer. Let's do 81 rock coffers. And make them out of claystone. Let's do bed. 50. And let's do cabinet. Rock. 80. Make those out of claystone as well. I mean, we're going to give people gifts in the format of pointy things in the face. Naturally. Vaulted. But because this mod includes 2 different races, I kind of want to play the other race too, which is Polar Elves. So I'm thinking we'll do like 3 to 5 streams of these guys, and then we'll do a handful of streams being annoyingly good as the elves. But by annoyingly good, I mean they need to give us gifts. So I'm going to make everybody give me tribute. See how many tributes we can get. Try and get tribute from everybody, including this old fort. It'll be fun. Then, of course, we'll go to war with this fort and then kill my own goblins. It'll be fun. That's kind of the plan that I've been forming up in my brain. Got here. Hope you guys are down for that. So these guys will be kind of warmongery because they're goblins. Come on. And of course, Lord Krampus himself, aka what's the name of him? I don't even see him. A lot of barons and baronesses. Jeez. Maybe he's dead. Interesting. Satan's Claus? Santa Claus. Satan's Claus, yes, naturally. Should be fun. And then we'll go back to Long Death early next year. I don't think I'm going to do any Long Death for the rest of December. And December 31st, we're going to do the annual Getting Over 2021 into 2022, so I'm going to play Getting Over It for like 12 hours and probably not get over it because I never do. So it should be fun. Yeah, that's... And then also we're going to do a War Sim playthrough where we name the because you can name your civilization in War Sim, where we're going to name the civilization the North Pole, and we're going to name the king Santa Claus. So that'll also be fun. Watch me get over it in like 2 hours and have nothing left to do. Well, then we get over it again. Oh, also on Christmas Eve, we're going to be streaming Portal 1 again because that's become an annual tradition. I've streamed the entirety of Portal 1 on Christmas Eve every year for the last 3 years. So we're going to do it again. Which will, again, take me like 30 minutes. So then I'll be like, what do now, I guess? At that point, I don't know. Maybe we'll shoot some Satans or something in Jupiter Hell. Seems like proper Christmas Eve affair. There'll probably be a short stream, though, because it'll be Christmas Eve. Be back in a while. When you can. Later on. We'll see you when we see you. I don't know how long I'll be on today. I was supposed to go over to my parents' house last night, but that got canceled last minute, so I'll be going over tonight. I need to see if it's still snowing outside. It was pelting snow down earlier. Also, I just realized Vin's our only peasant left. You poor soul. Let's give you masonry. Build another mason shop. And Axeman is visiting. I don't know if this fort's going to be as chaotic and evil as the Halloween fort. The whole point of that fort was to be chaotic and evil, so. So I'm not too sure what the plan of this one should be. Meditate on happiness. That is adorable. It's like, what is this troll doing? Meditating on happiness. Just like hanging out. That's just me on my sofa when I'm listening to records stoned out of my mind. Meditating on happiness. You can make pickaxes if you have ice. Allegedly, I don't have ice. Another one of my trolls has given birth to a baby. It's my expedition leader, who apparently has 3 babies on her. Think you saw some up the mountain? I didn't, but I can go look. Yeah, the reason I haven't been doing that is because I didn't see any. Oh, there is some. Okay. But won't they melt? Now, do I make them at craftsman shops? Or, You really need to get that cassette player fixed? Cassette players are so fun. Ice. Okay, so they're just made at the ice benches. I've already got an ice bench. I just haven't done much with it. What are these? Giant dingoes! Yo! We've got ravens, a giant snowy owl, and giant dingoes. Ooh, it's a capital O. Look at that. I'm sorry, what? Stray wolf? I have a wolf? Awesome. I have a tame wolf, chat. Look at that. Totally missed that somehow. Although, actually, I'm going to slaughter those 2. I'm going to slaughter a few things, actually. I'm going to slaughter the wolf. Because I'm just like, that's cool, but... actually, no. We'll keep the wolf. I'm going to slaughter the 2 beak dogs. You're too scared anyway. The workings you need to get into and cogs are super dense. As somebody who just took apart and fixed a boombox, it's worth it. I recommend it. If you need any help, in regards to the cogs going crumbly, that is scary. But if I don't know. Around here, like, I'm super lucky and kind of spoiled because, like, I know there are 2 different places that repair analog audio gear, and one of them also rents it, so it's like a full service place. One of them's a record store that does that. I'm kind of spoiled in that I have access to that kind of thing. Ooh, a furnace operator. I'm gonna give you my side gig. What about you? You're a ranger. Yeah, you can keep doing that. That's fine. Armor. Well, we're getting some new arrivals, which is good. We're running out of food. That's why we're slaughtering some animals. Ah, I need another butcher shop. That's the problem. And Tanner's workshop. We'll get 2 of those down here. Mirror 2 semi-basement room with 2 hinge speakers adds to the amazingness. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, on the bright side, holy shit, that was a big migrant wave. On the bright side, you have the speakers which work. Meaning you may be able to just need a couple dwarves or people with butchery available. Also some with tanning. Yeah, I've also never gone over 30% on mine. There goes the still. There goes the butchery. Perfect. Troglodytes fighting with the cave swallow people. Do you have any pictures of the innards of the cassette deck that you could post on my Discord? We might be able to give you some pointers. The definite possibility. So I think trolls only eat meat because they don't seem particularly interested in eating veggies. So it's a good thing we have livestock. Not infinite. Found the service manual online. If it's a common model, service manuals are actually quite easy to find generally, which is super helpful. Oh shit, we got a baby penguin that showed up as part of that last group. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could help more, but I don't have any information, really. I mean, like, this right here, to give you an idea on where I'm at with tape decks in my life, that's a bag of tape deck belts, various sizes. I've replaced 2 different belts on 2 different cassette decks in the last 3 weeks. So, one of them had turned to goo, and the other one was my boombox, which was pretty intact, but needed a little bit of love. Oh, we've got a farmer guild. What model is it? Because you clearly looked it up because you found that. If you stated what model it was, I missed it earlier. But if you can get it serviced, that's phenomenal. Phillips 62220. I'm gonna look this up. Philips hasn't made that style of audio gear in a long time. I actually have a couple of records that were pressed by Philips, which is whack because like Philips hasn't like pressed records in a very... Ooh, this has analog dials. Damn, this is a nice looking thing. I'm assuming it's this, right? Have you seen my Akai Axon? That's a nice look. That's got a nice look to it. I love the kind of the silver brushed metallic look. They don't make them like that anymore. Because both my boombox and my Akai both have that. Okay, so the Hall of Summer has many members in Bellfrost and now requires... It almost sounds like Belfast. Anyway. It now has many members in Bellfrost, and now requires a guild hall. The location must be built and furnished, with the hall designated as a farmer guild. So this is them all dancing in here. Look at that. Look at all that socializing and dancing. I wonder what dance that is. Slogzo. The Velvety Flutes is a form of music composed for entertainment, originating in the Enchanter of Control. The rules of the form are applied by composers to produce specific melodies. It has simple passages and is short and loud. I'm imagining punk rock, and then immediately soft. No longer imagining punk rock. Each passage is performed by the rhythm. Each passage should always include rising melody pattern, sharpened with a 6th degree, as well as mordants and rapid rhythms. Sounds fun. Like loud, joyous, funsies music. All right, well. So, I need to make a guild hall. So the way I'm going to make this guild hall is I'm going to put a square there of claystone blocks. I'm going to furnish it, and I'm going to zone it. And that's going to be the guild hall. It's going to be an open floor plan design. We're very modern here. Make it a little bit bigger. You like the 1940s Russian nuclear control panel aesthetic too? I mean, you want to see a Russian nuclear control panel? Next time Cooler's around, you should ask him to show you the pictures or give you the brand name of the audio setup he has from the Soviet era. Because that genuinely is just that. This is a guild hall. It needs to be a farmer hall. The Misty Snarl. Cool. Cutest is also from Russia, yes. Why does it matter which Russian shows you stuff? Believe it or not, there are multiple Russians that watch this stream from different parts of Russia. It's the Russian vibe. They have that by default. That is like in such poor taste. That statement, it's almost funny. The meters are lit by a small lamp. If you still have the light bulbs, those light bulbs probably would cost you more money to replace than repairing the unit. I'm just going to pop into Music Talk and take a peek real quick because I want to see this. Oh, dude. Yeah, no, see, the little light bulbs that power these, to replace those and get good quality actual ones and not, like, put in LEDs or some bullshit, probably costs more than repairing the whole unit. Like, I was looking at replacement light bulbs for my Akai, and it's like, I could sell the light bulbs from in it and make triple the money that I spent on it. Because I spent $20 on the unit, right? If I could sell those light bulbs for $40 a piece. And there's 2 of them in there. You're lucky for being in Philips land, though. I mean, like, I'm in the land of certain audio companies, too. But, like... It's like, it's... Because a lot of the big American brands were not that far away from me, so. Used to be. Most of those companies used to be do everything companies, though. Some still are, like Sony still is, you know. Samsung is. I just dream of the day that I'll be able to get me a, you know, I'm gonna... What's the Alt-N? Control-N? What's the Nest box button? It's capital N. Okay. Guess they haven't made any Nest boxes yet. Oh, that's because I made Forge Iron as Nest box. Rock Nest box. There we go. Automated glass production? Oh, it is lovely. I don't understand how you played this game without managers. Like, that blows my mind, dude. W. Armor. This is going to be the industry layer. Especially when like you run out of one thing and then it cancels all of your jobs. That's the nice thing about the manager is it just notifies you that you don't have the thing and then tries to do the job again instead of just being like, yo, we just canceled all your jobs for you because you ran out of a material, and then you go, no. Alt F4. I spent 30 minutes on that. Ah. Whereas like the mass cancellations are kind of annoying, but at least like they're on your side, you know? What are you carrying? Ah, sweet pods, naturally. Where did you get like a fire clay pot from? I wonder, did they ever actually dig out that ice? I don't think they did. I need to do that as priority number 1. At the same time, and then human merchants arrive and buy one of everything. Solved, yeah. Brander, what up? Starting our holiday fort. Been pretty chill, though. Hope you've had a good day. Not going to be going super too much longer, though. Actually, I need to eat my lunch. Something I haven't done. There we go. This is our fort entrance. Currently. Also, scrolling back up, Sony makes their own light bulbs. Yeah, you can buy Sony brand light bulbs. Currently, I don't know. They definitely made their own tape deck light bulbs, though. Although the light bulbs that are in my Akai are some Japanese company, I can't read the name of, brand. Fortunately, though, like tape decks, unlike boomboxes, are very, very, very simple to open up. Right? Like, the kind of annoying thing about like boomboxes is they're kind of a pain in the ass to open. Whereas tape decks are generally very simple. These guys are like super into partying. Inside posted, top down, let's take a peek. Looks decently clean. Yeah, I'm assuming like the little gears at the back of the tape mech just stopped working. Because you said that they started crumbling. You can peek at this. The bonus, like that's the back of the tape mech, correct? The bonus is that is still intact. But if it's the gears, then it just needs gears replaced or a new tape mech. One of the two. Tape mechs generally aren't too bad. Is that a mid? For a second there, I thought that was a Mitsubishi motor, which I've seen before. But yeah, if it's just the gears, if the gears are literally crumbled, then like they can just replace those. Because the gears are pretty generic, right? It's just a matter of getting the parts. And disassembling a cassette mech is actually pretty simple. It's generally not that hard to disassemble the cassette mech. But, you know, it's clean in there. That's the biggest benefit. You can get a set online for $35. I mean, if you want to, like, realistic, if you can see every gear that's crumbled on the inside here, that's not too difficult to maintenance. Because, like, taking a mech like this out of the front, you probably need to pull the front off. And then it's probably, like, maybe half a dozen screws, and then you pull the whole thing out. And then at that point, it's just a matter of replacing the gears and putting it back together correctly. Putting it back together correctly is the hard bit. I mean, if you want to see the last project I did, if I go to music and scroll up a bunch. I posted a bunch of videos. Discord doesn't want to load that far back. Like, this is what my boombox looked like by the time I pulled it apart. And I've taken it apart twice since then. What, instead of Long Death, where I just kind of like AFK the fort? Here's the link if you want to just see the picture. No, it's a pain in the dick to service. But I've got it almost functioning fully. We're going to put a proper food. Although it's funny that you say play properly, because we're not actually brewing alcohol because these are goblins, not dwarves. Which is kind of, you know, hilarious. So we're just functioning off of a well right now. Because they don't get any active benefit. Like, they don't feel anything due to inebriation because they're goblins. Sounds like easy mode. Well, trolls require meat and can't eat vegetables, so that's not that easy. So you have to be farming animals. Fortunately, we have beak dogs, though. I think, actually, I'm going to segment my animals out down here. Beak dog. Oh, more beak dogs? I missed something. I mean, I slaughtered some beak dogs, but I didn't slaughter all of them. I swear I still had baby beak dogs, but I guess not. All right, well, raven deers it is then. I've done that before. I know exactly what you were trying to do. Trying to make floors. What's the surface look like? It's a rather large map. Oopsies, one button. That's the main layer. I guess I can zoom in slightly. But it's a rather large map, so it goes up and to the side a bit. Up to here. There's candy cane trees outside, and other various candy trees. That's the entry area. It's slowly getting dug out. This is the lower area where we are building our farming. Boomerang entrance? It's supposed to be a shooting star, but I did my best. But I need to put more things into my... Sure. More migrants have arrived. Probably do a full restart of the game, because the last migrant wave was pretty big. Oh, yeah, more beak dogs. A lamb and a beak dog pup. Lamb can get it. How big was that? Not that big. You know, I appreciate you being happy that I'm doing a new fort, but it makes me kind of sad because it makes me feel like you think that Long Death is boring, and I love streaming Long Death, so enjoy it, but like, you know. Just remember, I'm quite fond of Long Death, oddly enough. Also, I think investments are probably open. I haven't seen those in ages. Fair enough, Chocobo. Long Death is a weird fort. Oh shit. One of my gubbins is giving birth to a bab. We have a babby gub. That's a weird set of words I just said. A babby gob. Dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. He says, Mother! He sounds like a dwarf. How am I doing a Goblin Fort? That Reddit thread, if you look in the comments, has a... first comment has a link to the mod that we are playing. It's made by Joe in chat. It's very easy to install. I could do a video on how to install it if people want, but I'm not going to do it unless at least one person asks. No one's asked so far, so... But in this world, we're going to do 2 forts is kind of the plan. We're going to do this fort, which is the Goblin Fort, where we are going to go to war and attack people. And then we're going to do an elf fort with the polar elves. Some ice melted. Polar elves, yeah. They're elves that don't care about nature and build weapons. So I would say they're more like dark elves instead of wood elves, if you like that distinction. Yeah, that kind of seems to be the idea, but I kind of want, yeah, it definitely turned into water. I kind of want everything to be inside, but... Metal elves, yeah, pretty much. Do I get dwarven raids? We're literally on year 2, dude. Will I get dwarven raids? I don't even know if I'm at war with them yet. We got dwarven traders. So probably could. I haven't attacked anybody yet. Still building a cool fort. We're going to be building a cool fort for a bit before we do anything else. I mean, you can get dwarven raids as a dwarven civ in normal dwarf fortress. You can get dwarven raids from your own faction in normal dwarf fortress, and I've done that. It's pretty fun, actually. Starting a civil war and then fighting with your own faction and trying to kill your king. Good times. Don't you get loyalty? Don't you have loyalty cascades? Not usually. Not if they have no relationships with them. Not if you're the one doing the invading. Only if, like, a family member or a friend shows up, but that just adds to the fun now, doesn't it? Have I ever gotten loyalty cascades from doing that, though? No. All right. It is now time to dig out the tavern. So, chat, what do you guys think? Should I put our tavern on the same layer as the shooting star entrance area? Because, like, I got tons of space, like, down here. I could very easily build a tavern. Although, actually, you know what I kind of want to do? So I could either put our tavern and, like, inn and everything on the same layer as this, or I could go down here. Because this is going to be, like, industry and storage. What's the value of that? I need this done before I forget. It's Tuesday today, right? It's Tuesday. Problem of working 7 days a week, you forget what the fuck day it is. Come on, Gibbons, bring that stuff over. Also, kind of a response to the sounds like easy mode comment in regards to goblins not needing alcohol. Dwarf Fortress in general is kind of easy mode. Not a particularly hard game once you know what you're doing. Doesn't matter what biome or area you're in or what faction you're playing. Even in the haunted biomes, unless it's like an undead regeneration biome, and even then, like, Dwarf Fortress is kind of just a cakewalk in most situations. Alright, well, let's just make a finished goods stockpile. Two of them. That's going to be a lot of stuff to get put away. Oh, they're there. Don't need to do that much. Or actually, rather, I could just do that. All right, you, as soon as those get mined out, are going to make reinforced ice. Guys, again, try and make some reinforced ice picks. In regards to DF mods, I'd love to see somebody take the the stuff that was started with the Mushroom Kingdom mod and update it to current day. Because that mod is super neat. And it doesn't get enough love, I think. Investments are open, heads up, chat, if you want to invest your tickets. As we climb and climb and climb. Now we have to wait for somebody to come and make reinforced ice. I'm trying to imagine, how do you reinforce ice? Like, just in general, like building a frame around it? Doesn't seem very structurally sound, not gonna lie. Jimmy's coming up to reinforce some ice for us. We need to get better bedrooms set up. You just imagine it uses magic or something? Yeah, fair enough. Sawdust is a fine job to reinforce ice if you're freezing water to make ice, otherwise. Interesting. Never even thought of that. Shit, that's a fast job. They use 3 pieces to reinforce it? Ah, okay, they use 3 pieces to reinforce it. F12 to change the text to default, so if you're using a font that's hard to see for whatever reason. I'm gonna make a reinforced ice pick. So you're running over here, grabbing. Huh. Menacing wooden spike to make a reinforced pick. Huh. I love how I just made menacing wooden spikes because I do it out of habit, and it turned out to be the thing that I needed. That's curious. Looks like I got a few dwarves or goblins with mining. I've seen pictures of the ice hotel, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like, because I found that water pretty close to the surface, right? What if I like pump a bunch of water up into a frame? I'm trying to think how I would do it without freezing it. Or pump it into an underground reservoir, freeze it, and then bring it up to the surface in buckets, making it into blocks, and then building a chunk of my fortress out of ice. Because if this never thaws, I could actually do that. I could actually do that, which could be real cool. And also, decent for air conditioning, too. Nice and cold in there. Also, wood buckets. You know if those deer critters are milkable? Like, are these guys milkable? The raven deer. They are. We can make some raven deer cheese. Excellent. Excellent. Looking forward to some raven deer cheese. That'll be the good shit. Make a couple craftsman workshops. I'm also kind of curious to know what they made these statues out of, or in those images of the statues for, so. All right, let's see how are we doing on value. There we go, cool. Perfect. Milk animal. Shear animal. Spin thread. Let's see what they can do. Roll cancels eat. Reason. In custody. What? Pardon? Oh. Of course, yeah, we're shearing our trolls. Naturally. Yeah, I always forget about that. I was like, why are you in custody? Ew. Also, one of my favorite like little tidbits in DF is if you geld a cat, there's a pretty good chance the cat will fight. And if they fight back, they can actually do damage bad enough to dwarves that they require stitches. And there's been a couple of times where I've put dwarves in hospital from gelding cats. Just something I wanted to throw out there because I think it's hilarious. Also kind of sad, but really fucking funny. Mostly really fucking funny. And pigs. I believe it. I don't believe I've ever had to geld pigs. I'll just slaughter pigs. But sometimes I'll have like a bunch of named cats and I'll be like, fuck it, I gotta geld all of these. I genuinely think that is comedic as all hell and I love it. Hey, my polar bear's grown up. Wait, do I have 1 or 2 polar bears? How many polar bears do I have? I have 2. I have a breeding pair of polar bears! Sorry. Got excited for a second. Let's put them both down here. Guys, we got breeding pairs of polar bears. How can you not be fucking excited as hell about this shit? 1 and 2. And then over here, I'm put my penguins. My penguins. This is kind of becoming a farming fort already, actually. I don't want that to be a meeting area. I do want that to be one of these. Brown penguin, brown penguin. Penguin chick. Yeah, but I've never gelded them. I just slaughter them as they become adults. I have indeed had pigs in Long Death, though. I've had pigs in many forts. That's a lot of ice picks. A lot of reinforced ice blocks they need to make an ice pick. 100? 100? He did make 1, though. Because we got 1 sitting right there. So... something's off. Why is the next one so expensive? Good question. I have no idea. All right, well, I'm going to make our tavern. Trying to decide what kind of shape I can make it, though. Actually, I've got a good idea. Crescent moon? I'm more into like the weird patterns kind of feeling right now. It's okay, I do have a plan here, believe it or not. Kind of thinking I do a shape like that. Something like that. And then I need red gems. And then I can do red and green windows because I already have these. I have bloodstones, which are green. But if I go down to this, got gold everywhere. By the way, there's tons of gold down here. Looking for green. I'm looking for red things. Anything that's red, something red. Oh, I don't know. Something I can make gems. I don't think I can. Is there any way to cut clay into gems? I don't know. Regardless, we can do green windows. I could make clay blocks, I guess. And no problem, dude. You made an oddly convenient mod for something I wanted to do. But thanks just for being present enough in the community that I could make some streams of your mod. One thing I'll say though is like, I might also make a video on how to install it, but then again, I need to do more videos on how to install mods in general, just because they're easy cannon fodder content. The moment I start talking about content like that, it cheapens what I do, but it's kind of true. I already kind of tried to make a crescent moon, by the way, mind, and like, I do not think I can easily do that without like copying stuff verbatim. I really don't want to do that if I can avoid it. So that's going to be for tavern. I think I might like copy that star later too and do more of them around with slight variations, because that wouldn't be too hard for me to just make a copy of that, like stencil it almost. Oh, that's not where I should be putting that. Putting that in the polar bear pen. More bloodstone. That's not streaming stars all over the fort. Nothing wrong with there being stars all over the fort, though. Dwarf Fortress in general is pretty oddly satisfying, I would say. The stream was kind of popping earlier today. It's gotten oddly quiet in here. I think like everybody and it was kind of this way the last 2 days. It's 420. It's got nothing to do with anything, but smoke them if you got them. I think it's mostly like everybody's just in finals right now. Everybody's either like, oh God, I got 55 finals left, or whew, I just finished my finals, or oh God, I got 642 finals left. It's like there's no in between. It's either there's just like tons of finals left, or no finals. The one thing I'm kind of worried about with my booster shot is if it does knock me on my ass, streaming is going to be difficult considering I'm streaming 7 days in a row. And I'm like wondering when I can schedule that realistically. Kind of don't want to wait until after Christmas, so. So there might be like a short stream in the next day or two. Eve, what? The outpost liaison. The dwarves have arrived to trade, and they're... Ooh. The dwarves are being pulled by reindeer? Oh, unless that's actually us. That would be a little odd. Slag's mob. Huh. The outpost liaison is a dwarf. Oh, no, she's not a dwarf. She just has the dwarf model. Okay, that makes some sense. She has the Outpost Liaison model, which is actually a dwarf model. Definitely a goblin. That makes a lot more sense now. Suddenly, everybody is going to be bringing stuff to be traded. Look at them all. Go swarm, boys. Go swarm. An animal has grown to become a troll child. Kind of weird that they call them animals. You have a good night, Mind. You have a good night. Zokal says, I'm your liaison from the mountain homes. From the Goblin Pits. Let's discuss your situation. There's much to share. We've updated the civs and world info. Bring me animals. We'll just say that. And they say, I look forward to our meeting next year. Our fortunes rise and fall together, and the Demon Lord awaits. Now let's follow Axon, who's coming back to trade at Depot.
Just a little tip.
Thanks for the $10. Thanks for like tripling my revenue today. Means a lot, man. I'm going to buy the useful metals. So bronze, silver, iron, bronze, silver, iron. Jack, can I get a round of beers for mine? Chucking $10 at me. And quadrupling today's revenue. Like I said, today's been kind of quiet. And that seems to be about it. Don't have a huge amount of trade value. Just buy 2 picks. Trade. And then just make 200 rock crafts, and we're just going to try and sell those. Just hoping that they come and, come on, chat. We can get a couple more beers in chat than that. Otherwise, maybe it's just time to call it for the day. Because, like, today is kind of quiet. It might be just time to call it. Now chat wakes up. There you guys are. Hello. How are you guys doing? Sort of. Yeah, chat. I think we're gonna call it early today. It's just been kind of chill. I've got an appointment to book and some things to sort out on the YouTube side of things. I've also got to make myself a late lunch because I apparently completely skipped lunch today, and I've got to go visit my parents tonight. But not a bad start to this fort. Not a bad start to this fort. I'm looking forward to seeing what it turns into. I think that this is going to be a fun playthrough all in all. But we'll be playing this again tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow night we'll start up that War Sim playthrough. If that works for you guys. So, I think that's me for the day. It's just a little bit too chill for me. I'm going to just start complaining at this point. So, all of that being said, thanks for hanging out. If you want to support the stuff I do directly over on the Patreon from like all of December until the end of the year, annual patron subscriptions are 16% off. So if you want to support the stuff I do directly, you can do it there. Discount until the end of the year. And if you keep your eyes peeled on the YouTube channel, there will be some VODs of this starting next week. But seriously, guys, thanks everybody for hanging out. It's none of your guys' fault that it's chill today. It's just those days. Plus, we did a long-ass stream yesterday, and 7.5 hours. That's pretty good. So, anyway, all that being said, thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out. Let's see if I can find somebody to send you guys over to. before I run off and go make me a late lunch. I think I'm gonna host OnlyFins. My friend's fish tank. Pretty low maintenance. You guys have a good night. Thank you much for watching. Say something nice to somebody and don't forget to eat your vegetables. Night, chat.